That's
Well,
that's what I was saying, that your theme song should just be like the piano part of the I could day we'll have to see.
I feel like I would get copyrighted for that though.
Fair. That's right. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I forgot.
I've never had a guest, so this is exciting, guys. Hello. Today I have a guest here. Nick Miesuk is my guest today, and we've known each other for like.
We met I think I met you and Becca in kindergarten. Like we met at like the same time.
Yeah, because we kind of grew up in a small town, so like everyone we like went to kindergarten with, pretty much we like graduated with. Yeah. So, but we didn't really become friends until like high school, I think. Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't until like senior year then we actually like really started talking and hanging out.
Yeah, that's true. Because you were in like the orchestra, well, not the orchestra, the like drama, the theater group.
I was like, the orchestra was out of my realm of knowledge.
Yes, not orchestra. That was our friend Becca, but you were in the theater group with Becca, and so I just kind of like tagged along with everything. Yeah. But we're here now.
We're inclusive. We try to be inclusive. Yeah.
Oh, I did not prepare anything, so I was editing until like this morning my other podcast. So
you were still editing this morning? Because I remember last night you had said that you're like, oh, I'm editing. I'm like,
yeah. Cool. My hair is disgusting because I was gonna wash it last night to film this podcast, but then I was like, I need to finish editing the other podcast.
This is what my hair looks like right now out of the shower. So when you say yours is disgusting, look at all this.
What do you mean?
Wet mess. I don't know.
Isn't it like so embarrassing to live at home, even though everyone still lives at home our age?
I think about that all the time.
Like, I hate telling people, like, telling stories. Oh, yeah, like, I came home and my dad... Like, I hate saying it. I feel like such a child.
Well, I just moved back from Philly, like, a couple months.
Wait,
like,
you moved to Philly? When did that happen?
Like, last fall.
Oh, I didn't know that. For what?
Just get away.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I went out to Philly with Matt, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And I was living out there. I was like, man, this is so cool. I mean, obviously, there's nothing to do during lockdown, so it was kind of just us the whole time. But I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. And then I came back home. I'm like, yeah, I live with my parents. I was like, damn, bro, I was just living on my own. Like, this shit is ass. But, yeah, everybody still lives with their parents. Like, if I'll talk to somebody, I'm like, I live at home. They're like, I do too. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Never judge them for it, but like internally, I'm judging myself all the time.
Oh, yeah. I feel like not a failure, but just like I'm behind. And I know like, everyone's journey is different and like we're not supposed to feel behind.
Yeah.
But even like going on vacation like a week ago when I was gone for a week and I was just like full responsibility. Yeah. Like this is all. And I was completely on my own coming back home. The next day my dad said some shit like, oh, can you clean the pan again? There was a little grease spot left in it. And I was just like,
I've left this sitting here for a week because I wanted you to come back and be the one to clean it.
Yeah, I was like, here I am again being 12 years old. Like,
No, I mean, there's like a comfort, I guess, at being at home because it's familiar, but at the same time, it is that sense. It's like, damn, responsibility is not a thing right now.
It's easy to just get comfortable and like,
Yeah.
Because even if you are super responsible and do like so many things yourself, which I do, but at the same time, like someone is gonna one day do some of your dishes. Someone is gonna do some of your laundry. Like you still have that like little extra help and also like not having to pay for it unless like some people do have to pay rent. I feel like I was talking about this in last week's podcast, but like I feel like no one, even as adults, has their shit figured out. So, like, they put all this pressure on us to, like, pick your major, pick your college, you should better go to college. And then it's like, when you get into the adult world, it's like, you're not even using your degree, you don't have a degree, but you're higher up, like, you don't even know what you're doing. And so it's like, because I work with a lot of, like, different ages. Like, all of us are adults, but, like, I work with people who are, like, well into probably, like, retirement age, and I'm like, they don't even know what they're doing. So
I think that's a great thing about working in retail is you really see who's who of what's where. And they're all like, yeah, I'm here. I was like, man, when you went to college for astrophysics, did you ever imagine you'd be fighting with a customer about a company card that they should get for discounts? And they'll just look at me and I go, yeah, that's how I feel too, man.
You can tell when you work in retail too, like who's just trying to get out and like be there for and I'm one of those people. I'm just like, I'm here because it's what I need to do to like move forward. And you can tell people who are like, I'm just gonna stay here. And I like retail's hard. Retail's not ideal.
Yeah, I don't customer service I think is a necessary thing, but nobody wants to do it. It's a terrible thing. I did when I moved out when I was out in Philly and I switched the stores out to there at Kohl's, I was doing a lot more stuff that really focused on customer, because I would just do like cashier stuff. Yeah. And then I started doing like pick up in store, like drop off, all that stuff. Yeah, people are not good at being like understanding it all. And it's like, it's a tough 8 hours of sitting there while people yell at you for stuff you have no control over.
It teaches you empathy, though. I feel like working in customer service, I am now so much more empathetic. And also, like, I used to get so angry at customers, but now I'm like you're going through something. Yeah. And you're just, like, projecting. I just, like, use my therapy knowledge, and I'm like, something went wrong. This is not about me. It's about you.
Don't let me internalize this. Let me just think about this for a minute.
So I'm just like, it's fine.
I had a lady come in one time, and I always remember how just so dumb it was, but so funny to me. She comes up and she goes, oh, I was like, oh, hi, how can I help you? She goes, oh, I'd like to return these socks that I bought for my mom. And I was like, oh, okay. Did they not fit right? And she goes, no, she died. And I kind of just went, okay. And she goes, none of us saw it coming. And I go, neither did she. And then I just walked away. I didn't know how to. I was like, all right.
You didn't return the socks?
It wasn't my thing. She was in a line, and I just sit there like, oh, do you have a pickup I can go grab? Yeah. No, she was doing customer service, but yeah, she just was like, yeah, my mom died. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to respond to this? Oh my God. Okay, so I just went, all right, and I just left. I just walked away. I was like, I can't deal with this right now.
See, I think during COVID, I could tell too, like, customers would just like overshare so much more, because it's like going to any type of store that was essential, that was still open, like they were like, you're the only person like I'm gonna talk to besides like the person I'm living with. So they would just like and it was like, we're not best friends, I don't need to know about your dog Sally and her thyroid issue, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, that's such a lonely and sad thought of just these people who've been sitting on set all day and they go, my emotional therapist is gonna be the bag lady at Target. And it's
literally.
It's like, oh, I can grab you a bag. My niece just got cancer. So do you want to like double bag those, or like what do you want to do?
My dad like excessively went to the grocery store like during COVID times. Like he would go like every other day, and I was like, this is so unnecessary. Like it's a waste of gas. Yeah. Like you just need to socialize. Like I get it, but
I miss it. Is that bad to say that I miss the first like the early lockdown?
Miss quarantine time?
Yeah, bro, I do so bad. And it's weird because like my little brother came home with like 3 friends.
Like to live with you?
Yeah, like they stayed with us. And like we were there. Like we didn't go out. But like every day I woke up, people were there. I got to talk. I hung out. I did like 50 Sudoku puzzles a day. I listened to so much music, watched so much TV. I was like, well, I was also railing my ADHD meds at the time. So I'd be awake until like 6 a.m., go to sleep, and wake up at 2 p.m. and do the whole thing over again.
Oh my, I found out I had ADHD.
Hey, me too.
What's
like
that?
Right before quarantine, when I thought like, oh yeah, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get out of this quarantine. Yeah. Lockdown. And I went, well, I got these meds now. So what do I do? So it really was just the summer school when that eventually happened. It's so bad because I know, like, I talk about it, I'm like, man, it was so fun. I was never alone. I had people. And then I know people who are like, I was so alone. I was isolated. I was so depressed. And I go, did you, like, try doing Sudoku or anything? Like
did you try to exercise your brain?
Oh, my God.
I solely made TikToks. That was the only thing, like,
I just watched a lot of them. I just watched a lot of TikTok. I specifically remember when Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce's Savage came out, but I specifically remember the time frame in which Savage came out, and I was like, this is the greatest moment in time. It's just getting to listen to Beyonce rap.
See, she's rapped before, but like I don't like listening to specific TikTok sounds or like songs that were popular on TikTok because it just brings me back to quarantine time. And I literally all I did was make TikToks. I think I like baked a lot. I luckily though, like it was only about I think like a month and a half. Then I like got a different job, and I was like,
God bless. God bless.
Like I talked to everyone and anyone when I started a new job because I was like, please talk to me. I need to socialize, and like it saved me literally. Transition. Okay.
Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know down below.
Like it, comment. People never comment when I say comment. Comment, please, about something.
Anthony Fantano, J. Cole, The Fall Off, Forever. That's the end of his
I've only heard the interlude on J. Cole's new album. That's it. One of my friends played it.
The new one's pretty good.
I'll get a listen. I was thinking about, though, we're still so young, Okay, but have you noticed how many people that, like, we went to school with are already married or graduated? Or not graduated, having kids?
I just saw a girl yesterday when I was at my doctor's office, and it was somebody I'd worked a summer camp with in 2018.
Yeah.
And she was just graduating high school in that summer. And she walked in with her husband and kid. And I was like...
Is this someone I know?
No.
Oh.
No, they were in, like... Yeah. Like some small country, super, like, religious, because it was basically like, oh my God, he's my, like, God-given soulmate. Like, this is, our faith has brought us together. I go, dude, you're like 20. I
heard recently, like, a comedian, she was talking about how when marriage, the concept was created, like, we only lived till, like, 36.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that we would have, like, multiple partners throughout our life.
Yeah.
Because, like, you only had to fucking deal with one person for, like, 15 years.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's why a lot of the generation now, like, we date a lot in our 20s and then, like, 30s and stuff, we settle down because, like, my grandma and grandpa got married in, like, right after high school. He went to, like, the Marines, and then they got married.
I think it's also, like, still the American dream of, like, you know, after you have a career, then you just kind of, like, settle down and have kids. Like, I'm not about that.
Man, I just want someone to, like, cook for and, like, watch movies with and shit. Like, I like cuddling at night. Like, that's a cool thing.
I like companionship now. I didn't have a serious boyfriend until, like, 11 months ago.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's our 11 months. But, like, now I, like, get it. I'm like, oh, this is why people like dating.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is really nice.
I mean, there's a lot of, like... There's definitely getting in relationships where it's like, oh, we are not on the same page. Like, the energy is not reciprocated. But, like, once you find someone, like, that matches your shit.
Yeah.
It's cocaine. It is drugs, bro. That's why, like, you see people go through, like, bad breakups, and it's literally, like, withdrawal. It is literally a drug. Like, love and shit is, like, so fucking strong.
I mean, I get it, but now... being in a relationship, I also understand how hard they are, so I never understood, like, when we were in high school and people would just, like, have a new fucking boyfriend or girlfriend, like, every, like, 3 months. Like, how can you, like, just be like, yeah, we're dating, oh, it's over, oh, I mean, I guess you're young, so it's not usually as, like, deep and meaningful. It can be, but I just feel like generally it isn't. But it just, like...
I look back on, like, my high school breakups, and I go, oh, I was sad, I cried a little bit, and then I get, like, older and have my, like, now relationship breakups, and I'm, like, fucking shattered, because I'm, like... Because, I mean, you know me, I dated so much in high school and, like, a little bit.
Also, you're a hopeless romantic.
Yes, I am. So, I feel like, I mean, I'm only 23, but, like, I feel like I'm at that age, like, I dated enough. I kind of know what I want and don't want in a partner. So, like, when I go into things, I go, okay, like, I want to see this working out long term. So, I, like, put myself in that, like, long term. I give, like, myself in that. And then it ends, and I go, what do I do?
Well, I think of,
What's
like,
next?
One of my friends who's, like, 40. Which sounds weird, but I met him at my gym, okay?
No, because that's the same thing with retail meeting people. It's like, yeah, my best friend's like 67. That's only like a retail thing to fucking say.
Yeah, but we met from my gym, but he told me, he was like, all your relationships in like your 20s are just learning experiences to like teach you what you want and what you don't want, and then to like also be able to navigate a relationship in a healthy way. From what he told me of that, I think now I have the mindset that like, a healthy relationship, it's kind of like, even if it ends, it's like, well, don't be sad, it's over, be happy it happened type thing.
Yeah.
And if you have an unhealthy relationship, like, that one rips you a new one. But then usually you learn from it in the future. And so now I'm kind of like, well, if I mentally now know more so what I want, like, if I have future relationships, I'll know what I want and what's healthy. Not that I can, you know, some people hide things and then bring them out later that are not healthy or, like, do damage to you. But still, I feel like I have a more optimistic outlook now on, like, the possible ending of relationships and whatnot.
It's really getting to the point where, like, the ending, you can be sad about the loss, but she said, like, kind of like that, like, you have to be comfortable with yourself and being alone with yourself, because sometimes that's what makes breakups so hard, is that you're now with yourself, and if you haven't learned to be by yourself, that's what makes it a lot harder. It's because you were just using that basically to fill a void that you haven't filled yourself. And I was like, I don't need you attacking me right now at 11:30 at night. I'll deal with that later. But
see, I agree with that statement, but I just don't think it applies to my life, because I was alone for like most of my life, like until, like I said, like 11 months ago, I never had like an actual serious committed relationship. So I was used to being like, it's just me. So I think, you know, if I'm single in the future, like I'd be like, yeah, cool. Going to therapy, did you figure out your like attachment style? Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know what that means.
Let me look them up. My therapist told me recently, like, what I have.
Yeah, I need a therapist that talks about these things.
I only have 2 more sessions with my therapist because she's an intern and I can't afford real therapy. It's still real therapy. She just doesn't have her license yet. She's about to get it. But she's leaving, and I don't know if I could afford her at an actual, like, practice, but she's amazing. Here, let me look up the list of attachment styles. What are the 4 attachment styles? Blah, 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 blah. Secure, anxious, dismissive, and fearful. I'm pretty sure I have an anxious attachment style. Like, I need someone, like, you need to text me back. You need to call me back. Like, you need to show up for me. You know what I mean? I need to know, like, you're there for me.
What was the second one? It was secure...
Dismissive,
anxious, and fearful?
Yes.
I was secure. Recently, I've gotten a little more anxious just because of the events of what we talked about. But, I really would be, like, I'd be like, cool, like, they were like, oh, I'm going out with, like, a coworker, we're gonna get drinks, and at first I was like, yeah, that's fucking fine, like, I'll be here, like, I'll see you tomorrow, like, shit, whatever, and now I'm definitely in a place of, like, what's going on here?
I think it also depends who you're dating and how you make them feel, because, like, currently, I feel like I still have an anxious attachment style, but it's a lot calmer, like, it's not as intense. That's
definitely something I know I gotta work on, obviously, before going into the next one, too, because, like, all the things for past therapy, like wanting to be there and like wanting to like do shit, like actually being like a good communicating boyfriend. Yeah. That's still there, but it is now definitely like I'm in a state of anxiety where I'm like, now I'm like, oh, can I trust everything they tell me? Like, am I going to be in this knowing like when we communicate what they tell me, is that really it? Are they hiding anything? Because I've definitely been in situations where like I'll be like, hey, you know, like, is this fine? Or like, are you okay? And they're like, yeah. And then later on, we'll be arguing about something, and they go, well, I wasn't okay with that. I go, I asked you. And they go, well. So now I think I'm in the place now where I'm kind of anxious about if people are honest with me. And I'm like, that's definitely something I need to work on. Like, or at least next partner say, hey, I have this thing, but I'm going to trust what you tell me. Like, I'm going to be good about trusting what you tell me, because I don't want to be in something where I'm just like, I don't trust you because of this.
I don't know how you could like date someone without trust. Like, I already, because I have an anxious attachment style, like sometimes question things, but then I like reel myself back in, and I'm like, realistically, like, would that happen? And like, no. So are you still in therapy now?
Yeah, it's okay. Like it's fine. It's just like the one I went to back in 2019, like early 2020. I would like rant for like the hour, like 50 minutes of it. I'd just blah blah blah, get everything off my chest. He'd have his iPad. He'd be like writing the shit down. Yeah. And then he'd go, all right, I noticed this. What do you think about this? And I was like,
ooh, I like that.
Yeah. This new one, I'll talk like for like 5 minutes. Maybe I'll be like something. And he goes, so have you ever tried blah, blah, blah. And he'll like interrupt and like kind of say like, have you ever tried this method or things to do? I go,
yeah, no, I've had 3 therapists now. One of my friends was like, what'd you do to them? And I was like, no, they're all interns, so they leave. Yeah. But like the one I have now, she does the same thing. She'll let me rant. And then afterwards, so nice. She'll like pull out something that she's like, I noticed like your frustration with this, or like this seemed to come up last week too, and like she's a Virgo, so she's very good at like analyzing and being critical and like asking questions, which I love. Therapy is great.
Therapy's great. Go to therapy.
Yeah, please.
Like really, just
you don't get an intern. They're cheap.
You don't have to be suicidal. You don't have to like you don't have to have gone through like a ridiculously traumatic event. No. Just go to.
Yo. Hey. Speaking of therapy, I just had to answer a friend's therapy session. But I think this is it. I'm tired. I talked a lot.
That's fair.
It's very rare for me to say that I'm tired from talking, but I also have therapy later, and that's going to be another hour of just talking.
Well, kids, you know, stay safe. Social distance.
Don't do drugs. Social distance.
Weed's not a drug. It's a plant. Smoke that shit if you need it. Fuck the FDA. B12 is found in apricot seeds, and that's been known to cure cancer. And that's banned by the FDA. So think about it.
Apricot seeds?
Apricot seeds have the vitamin B12, and B12 has been known to like kill cancer cells. And that and marijuana are like the only 2 natural things banned by the FDA. Because they both cure cancer. The more you know.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching. Click like, hit subscribe.
Comment down below, get that algorithm working.
I'll link Nick's social below to look whatever he's doing.
I just make stupid videos sometimes. That's really about it. Yeah.
Bye.
Peace.